Why is it that we go to school and we're never taught anything about money, especially for dentists, doctors, and lawyers that get out making big bucks but don't have a clue of what to do with it? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down the 8 types of income straight from the IRS website, which ones you should avoid, and the handful that you should acquire. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Jeff Anzalone, a periodontist that is like you, doing all I can to escape the rat race trap by building passive income streams. If you're not really sure how to do that, download the guide below this video. Let's begin. According to the IRS, there's actually 8 types of income. Number 1, wages. Now, this is the money that you're going out and trading your time for day in and day out. So if you're a doctor, you're treating patients, and then you're compensated with this type of income. It's probably the one that you're most familiar with. That's wages. Number 2, profits. Profits, this is what you're making off of any type of business that you have, any type of business that you run. You get the profits. Number 3, rents. This is what you're getting paid for someone else's use of an asset, like renting a house, self-storage unit, or an apartment. That's what rents are. Number 4, royalties. This comes from IP, intellectual property, which I'll admit very few of us are going to have this type of income unless you're an author, you write a book, you write music, software, things like that. That's royalties. Number 5 is dividends. Dividends are payments from corporations where they pay you a part of their profits. Now, what's important about this type of income is that you're going to actually pay about half as much tax on dividends versus your wages. Interest. Interest is number 6. Interest is money that you make off of principal. So if you loan somebody money and you're getting paid back the principal plus an agreed upon amount each month, you made a little bit of interest income. Number 7 is short-term capital gains. This is where you sell something of value, such as real estate. So if you buy a house and then you turn around and you sell it less than a year, then you're going to have a short-term capital gain. Now, on the flip side of that, which is our last type of income, is a long-term capital gain. So if you sell that same house, but you hold it for at least a year, then you're going to have long-term capital gains. All right. So now you know the 8 types of income. Question: did schools teach you anything about this? Me neither. All right. Now that we know the 8 different types of income, let's put those into 3 types of buckets. And I'm going to call these my income bucket: bad, good, and the best. All right. So as we talked about before, and I just mentioned, you can probably figure out the type that actually goes into the bad bucket, and that is number 1, and that is your wages. Your wages take the biggest hit from the IRS. So if you're a doctor, you're making $300,000 a year employed by a hospital, guess what? You're going to have to pay half of the Social Security and Medicare tax, which actually comes out to being 7.65%. Okay, so you pay half of that, and then your employer is going to pay the other half. Not going to stop there. So you're going to pay all of some of the other taxes as well, such as federal unemployment, state unemployment, workman's comp, plus labor and industries. Now, all of these, this is good stuff, right? All of these are taken out of your wages before you get paid, before you get your check. Now, you also are going to pay federal income tax withholding, and if you live in a state with state income tax, you're going to pay state income tax withholding. Now, if you're like me and you think you got it going on, but you really don't, and you're self-employed, guess what? Then our wages get hit even harder because we have to pay the full amount of self-employment tax, right? This is Social Security, Medicare, which actually comes out to being 15.3%. All right? Because you're self-employed, I'm self-employed, we have nobody to split it with. Good stuff, right? But again, Do they teach you anything about this in school? About what the government is going to be taking from you each paycheck? Nope, not me either. Number two. Number two is the good bucket. So let's see, that would be rents, that would be royalties, and also we're going to have some interest income as well, which would be number six. We can throw that in our good bucket. So rents, royalties, and interest income. If you've got that, then guess what? You are Social Security and Medicare tax. You're not paying Social Security or Medicare taxes, which actually make these types of income, it's going to be better than from the one in the bad bucket, which is your wages. But you have to remember that royalties, interest, and any short-term capital gains, they are going to be taxed at whatever your ordinary bracket is. So even though these are good, the royalties, the interest, and the short-term capital gains, even though they're good, they're not great, but you did avoid that big chunk, that's 7.65%, or if you're self-employed, 15.3%. All right. And last but not least is by far, and I guarantee you probably know what I'm going to say, but by far the best bucket. Now, the best income source is not from treating patients or serving your customers. Now, I understand that's very important, that we must do the best we can, the best that it's possible in our profession. But if we're talking about the best income source, then we're talking about, hands down, you guessed it, real estate. Now, guess what? I may never pay tax on real estate, and neither will my family. Think about this, I could own real estate and I could grow it just from a few $1,000s early in my career to millions and millions of dollars. In that whole time period, I'll have paid zero in tax. Meanwhile, the guy working behind the counter at Chick-fil-A making $400 or $500 every 2 weeks, he paid more in taxes than I did. Let that sink in a little bit. Okay. That, my friend, is real estate for you. Okay. So the I to the R and to the S, they're actually telling you what to invest in. You don't believe me? Go look at the tax code. Let me repeat that. The IRS is telling you where you should put your money. The school and all the training that you went to does not tell you where to put your money. They kind of teach you how to make it, but they don't tell you what to do with it. The IRS is telling us what to do with it, yet we don't listen to them. What do? We spend our whole career on this. That's why I'm talking to physicians and dentists on a daily basis. That especially the dentists, with the neck pain and shoulder pain and the hand and arms going numb, because they've spent their whole career focused on acquiring their income from wages, where they have to trade time for money. What if you wear out? What if you get sick, cancer, you can't work, you get an accident or whatever, and you can't earn wages? What are you going to do? But again, the IRS is telling you what to do, okay? The school that you went to is not going to, and they did not. So now that you know the 8 types of income and which of the ones you should avoid and which one are better and which one is the best, what I want you to do is check out this video over here, where I'm going to highlight the 4 real estate investment strategies that you can get started to make money with. I'll see you over here.